This is very impressive because just a little engine cleaner. Oven cleaner. Just a little oven cleaner. I think it does better than engine cleaners. You can see the little belt and all that stuff there, material. So I think it might have been a bad belt at one point. Like I said, it's not bad. I'm still gonna use a pressure washer before our first preliminary cleaning. This is not bad at all. This is not bad, not whatsoever. That stuff actually works, oven cleaner. Go figure. But anyway, I look back here and I see that it's got a casting number of 3.5 or 3.9. And so I was kind of curious. I kind of wanted to put a bigger motor in this, but like I said, I probably would have if I was going to keep the car. And if I absolutely know for sure that a 3.9 will absolutely drop into that car there and have the same, like everything just fits up the same way. Even though this is out of an Impala, and there's several differences, and I'm probably going to go look over a little bit later on in this video. But for right now, what I see is the emissions. The emission stuff is different. And obviously, elephant in the room, the manifolds and stuff, they're different than the Malibus. So I'll go over that a little later on in this video here. But otherwise, that oven cleaner did the trick though. It's not bad. I'm actually very impressed with that little hack. I mean, it actually looks pretty brand new. And the main thing is I can actually touch it. I can touch it there at least. It's actually more touchable, I guess you can say. There's still a little bit of grease here and there, but that's all right though. I'm actually able to touch it somewhat. But yeah, I kind of want to put a bigger motor in there somewhat, a little more power. I don't even know if the 3.9 would have offered any big, more power or not, with it being a bigger motor. And it's really not a lot of cam options and all that stuff. Otherwise, this would be the perfect time. But like I said, this is not a engine rebuild. It's kind of just an engine freshening up, kind of a maintenance wise, like gaskets. Gonna do the timing chain, oil pump, just all the stuff that we know is gonna be major wear and tear items that could destroy the engine. And so we want it to be nice and strong and just ready to go. We're gonna do everything by specs and by the book there wise. And the only thing I say I'm probably gonna do a little trick is I might take the heads, take the springs out and maybe port them, do a little porting on those heads. Just get the free flow a little bit better. You may do the same thing with the intake. Only time will tell with that there. But yeah, otherwise this is not bad. This is a good start here at least. At least it's up on the engine stand and I can start to chip away at it now. So till then, let's get to work. So you saw in the last video with this car here, we got the top of the motor down. We actually took the heads off finally. And we found the culprit of whenever I cranked that engine with a block of ice in it and heard a loud pop. I now know what that pop was, the block. And so we got ourselves a new solution now. At first I was gonna junk this car. I was gonna say forget it, send it to the junkyard and just be done with it, but that is just not me. I can't leave a project undone or unfinished. I gotta do everything in the best of my abilities to try to finish this project. Gotta see it through. So without further ado, this is it. It's a motor we got from New Jersey. Like I said, Jersey people don't get me. I'm just playing. But that was my best Jersey interpretation, I guess. Like I said, I probably didn't do too good here. I'm just so much southern slang and stuff there too. It's probably just very slangy, I guess, country-wise. But anyway, wound up getting it $600. Not too bad there. The motor came out of an Impala, but the beautiful part is, see, back up. So I had a hard time trying to find a motor for this Malibu because the only thing I had trouble with, the 8th VIN of the car. The 8th VIN of the car is VIN N. And so it has to be VIN N. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So they say. I still don't know to this day what the difference is, but we're just gonna take their word for it, and we're just gonna just find a VIN 8th digit on the VIN there. Ugh, some kind of tongue tie or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, this came out of an Impala. The 8th VIN was an N, so that was a plus right there. And it's a 3.5. This next plus is the motor had 152,000 miles on it versus the car got 196,000 miles on it there. So we're winning with that. There's a lower mile motor. And so the next thing we're going to do with this engine is I'm going to go ahead and start to tear it down. And what I'm going to do while it's out, first of all, you saw I already cleaned it already. Some people just went ahead and just threw it in the car and been done with it there. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you me putting this motor pretty much together. So we're going to put the new head gaskets, new timing chain, a new timing chain tensioner, new rear main seal, new front seal somewhere up in here, and new oil pump and new oil pump or oil pan gasket. Just all the stuff that we notice that can pretty much ruin the motor there. We're going to make sure that we go ahead and just build it up, put it brand new in there, so that way the car will be reliable. And then it may have a lot of miles on it, but the motor will be somewhat of a refreshing up. We're not doing any pistons or cams. It's one I couldn't find it. It's not really a market for these cars here or these motors. Otherwise, I would have hopped it up a little bit, put a big cam in it. We'll put a big cam in it there, and some different headers, and all that stuff there. But it's not really a lot of aftermarket stuff going after this motor. This motor here was just meant to be just a cruiser, I guess, or just to kind of get to point A to point B wise. May have a little zip to it about, but not really too much. So without further ado, you also saw this as well too. Whenever I got the motor, it was real dirty and stuff, real greasy. So what I wound up doing was just use some oven cleaner. Made it look brand new. So that's a win right there. So at the end of the day, if you kind of ball on a budget and you want your engine clean, you go to your local Dollar General or dollar store and get you some oven cleaner. You have a brand new motor, new crate motor. But like I said, I guess enough talking for now. Let's go ahead and get to tearing this engine down. Go ahead. We might actually get the heads off today. Try to get the timing chain cover off there, and let's go from there. Right here is that little bracket I was telling you about whenever I did the tear down of this Malibu engine on that other video, the Malibu Revival. This is the bracket I was telling you about. You're going to have to get that little top bolt off just to get that intake off, because otherwise you're not going to get it off with that. So just remove that alternator bottom bolt, and then you can remove that other bolt right there. Then you're good to go. And that's that little straighter valve with the fuel right there. But that's pretty much all that is. I just want to give y'all a better view of that there so y'all can see what I was talking about. See? And now you just go ahead and remove the rest of the bolts off of the intake, and it'll pull right on up. This right here is a very common gasket that leaks on these 3.5s. Every single one of these that I at least done tore down, The first one, like I said, the first time I tore this engine down, they just was leaking right there. You can see the little hole right there, or a little space in that. That's where your coolant leaks will be. So whenever you get a chance, go ahead and replace those whenever you get the chance. See, that's where a lot of those water leaks come from. Inside this valley, it looks amazing from what I'm looking at right now. Looks really clean. Yeah, it's carbon here, and so that's normal there. But otherwise, from what I'm looking at right now, it looks pretty good. Looks really good indeed. Another thing I can kind of tell too as well, this is the reason why I want to tear this engine down. I want to see the history of this motor here. Yes, it looked oilified and stuff on the outside, but I really want to just kind of look at the history of it. And I can tell right now, just from the look of it, it looked like this car was owned by an older person, somebody in the midlife. I say like a adult wise, not a young adult, like somebody middle age wise, because they look like they was up on their oil changes and carbon build up on the intake. Versus if it was a young person, it'd be sludge on the inside because they don't keep up with the oil changes, and those ports will be clean because they're gonna keep their foot to the ground, so it's gonna air the thing out a lot more, and thus it probably wouldn't be that good of a motor. But for right now, what I see looks pretty good. I'm actually impressed with it.